Bonjour, bonjour. So this is a lesson on French partitive articles. In other lessons, we've talked about French definite articles, indefinite articles. So here's the next kind of article I want to show you. Remember that we can often omit these articles in English, but not in French. You really have to pay close attention to that. Articles have to agree in number and gender with the nouns they modify. So just to recap, definite articles mean the, and that's le, la, and les. Indefinite articles mean a or an, and that's un or une. D'accord? And partitive articles, what we're going to talk about in this lesson, they mean some. And so they're all going to begin with the letter D. We have different forms: du, which is masculine singular, de la, which is feminine singular, de, which is plural, masculine or feminine, and de L apostrophe. And this is the one that we're going to use before a noun that begins with either an H or if it begins with a vowel. Okay? So, masculine singular nouns. Remember, we're talking about partitive articles now. If we're talking about cake, le gâteau means the cake. Un gâteau means a cake. But du gâteau means some cake. So in fact, what you're doing is you're not eating the whole cake. You're not eating a cake. You're having a part of it. That's why it's called the partitive. So this means some cake. And this is important to remember when you have de and le next to each other. They form a contraction, which is du. D'accord? We've seen this before. When you have a followed by le, it forms a contraction, au. It's the same kind of thing. So here's an example using the partitive article. Je mange du gâteau. Je mange du gâteau, which means I'm eating some cake. Now let's look at something, one with a feminine singular noun. La tarte. La tarte. If we want to say some pie instead of the pie, we say de la tarte. De la tarte. Je mange de la tarte. You see, I'm not eating the pie. I'm not eating a pie. I'm eating some pie. De la tarte. Now remember, the plural form is des, D-E-S. So des gâteaux means some cakes. And it's also important to remember that de, followed by L-E-S, that forms the contraction des, D-E-S, pronounced des. It's not pronounced like de. Remember, de and des. Okay? So, je mange des gâteaux. I'm eating some cakes. Je mange des tartes. I'm eating some pies. Now, there was one more that I wanted to show you. Remember, that's the one that's de L apostrophe. And we're going to use this one when you have either masculine or feminine nouns that begin with a vowel or a mute H. So if you want to say some water, it's de l'eau, de l'eau. Okay? So one of your verbs that you're going to learn this week is the verb boire, which means to drink. Je bois de l'eau. Je bois de l'eau. I am drinking water. See, in English, we can say I'm drinking water. In French, you have to say I'm drinking some water. Something really particular about partitives, when you're using negation with partitive articles, there's something that happens. Du, de la, des, and even un or une have to follow this rule. They all become de or d apostrophe after negation. So, for example, je mange du gâteau. I'm eating some cake. But if I want to say I'm not eating any cake, I change du to de. Je ne mange pas de gâteau. Right? We do that in English too. I'm eating some cake. I'm not eating any cake. The word changes. Je mange de la tarte. Je ne mange pas de tarte. Je bois de l'eau. Je ne bois pas d'eau. Now look, the de changes to d apostrophe here because it's followed by a vowel. Je ne mange pas de gâteau, right? Je mange des gâteaux. Je ne mange pas des, je ne mange pas de gâteau, right? The de changes to de. One more thing, when you're using any expression of quantity, but today I'm going to show you this one, beaucoup. Beaucoup means a lot, and it's followed by de all the time. Beaucoup de means a lot of. So if I want to say I eat a lot of cakes, even though the cakes are plural, I still just say beaucoup de. Je mange beaucoup de gâteaux. D'accord? That's sometimes a hard one to remember. It's not D-E-S, even though gâteau is plural. Je mange beaucoup de tartes. Je bois beaucoup d'eau. You see? So try to remember just that one expression of quantity for now. Merci beaucoup. À bientôt.